Testing, testing. Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear and or see me. I think we're good. I'm about to tweet out that I am online and that we are going to be doing a review. This is going to be kind of a guerrilla review, if you will. Let's see, let's shut down my browser because it's slowing down. Good, I went from 200 tabs to 35 tabs today. That's a victory. That is a victory. Alright. Let's just tweet. We are on. I'm just tweeting. For Pixel Remaster. Okay, and when I finally upload this to YouTube, I'm gonna have to chop the crap out of it, but there we go. Okay, and as you can see, I am downloading Final Fantasy IV, the complete collection, for the PlayStation Portable, which I am playing on my PlayStation TV, or I will be once the download completes. Why am I doing this when I'm reviewing Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster? Well, this is going to be a game of contrasts, because Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection, despite being attached to one of the worst games of all time, that being the After Years, is probably the definitive version of this game, unless you like the 3D version, in which case that is. But let's just say that for the pixelated 2D version, this is the best way to go. Now, that's not counting things like nostalgia. That's not counting things like if you are looking for a definitive challenge. We'll talk about that in a minute. The PlayStation 1 version, though it has its flaws, is really good if you really want to challenge yourself. But no matter what, stay away from After Years. It's not good if you enjoyed Final Fantasy IV as a child, as I did. It's not good if you're coming into the series brand new. It's just not good. Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remake, we'll talk about that soon-ish. Let's see what is going on here. But okay, we've got mere seconds left before we launch into this, and hopefully this has retained my save file. If not, then this is going to be just a skosh different than what I was expecting to do, but that's okay. It will still work. I think. I hope. And if not, I may just have to do a little finagling, but I guess I didn't really think about that. Here we go. And as long as we're just chatting, here's some stuff that I have. At some point, I'm going to do this same kind of thing, and we're going to play Legend of Mana to compare and contrast the so-called original version as it is emulated here, and contrast it to the remake. I have a lot of good things to say about that game, but we'll get there when we get there. I've got this Persona 4 Golden. I'm going to play that at some point because it is part 4 after all. Lumines. Maybe one of these days I'll just do a just chatting and play Lumines because that is Lumines and Columns are my happy places. That there's not much better than that. Stay away from After Years. Yes, wise advice for life. I agree. Muramasa Rebirth, a fantastic remake of a Wii game, I guess, right? Is what it was originally on. Dragon's Crown, similarly first for the PS3, but is a brilliant and beautiful game. Some other stuff here. I really need to play Darkest Dungeons at some point. Bard's Tale is like a super old game. For some reason, it just has been ported to everything. Odin Sphere Leftheiser, Mary Skelter, which sadly I got the Mary Skelter collection on the Switch, so this is now irrelevant. Disgaea 3, Absence of... Can't remember. Nope. What did I just do? Okay. Absence of Detention, I think it is? Actually, I can... Yeah, that's it. So, Disgaea's 2 and 3 are not on the Switch yet, so that's why I have at least this one here. And I think I own 2 as well somewhere, but anyway. Okay, on to the main course. Okay, yeah, game has autosave, we know that. By the way, it's really exciting that I can even do this with the PS TV. If I had had this when I was originally doing my FF4 Complete Collection playthrough, would have made my life a lot easier. Load game. System could not be read. Would you like to... Okay, so yeah, it didn't... I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it didn't keep my save file. Saved data failed to load. Because I have it on my Vita. I'd have to put my Vita card in here to then load that. I don't think I really want to bother with it. We'll just play a new game. It's not a big deal. So immediately you can see that in the sense that this game, the Complete Collection, is meant to be a callback to the earlier, graphics, it is both prettier and also kind of in line with what you expected. I'm not going to do the voices. What you expected for this to look like. Like, it looks like what it looks like. It looks prettier. It's very well pixelated. It's made for a widescreen because it was made for the PSP. Oh man, I forgot that they killed that white mage. That's real sad. But just super pretty. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Oh boy, here we go, selling the Mythgraven again. Oh yes, indeed. And look, the font isn't ugly. And look at that guy moving the steering wheel. That's cute. I love that. I say all of this because Pixel Remaster, it's not the same. Look at those sprites. Beautiful sprites. And it's got the same kind of... Oh man, and look at that. It shows that the airship was actually kind of trashed in that battle. And why this couldn't have been on a mobile port, I don't know. But you can very much tell that whoever did this this port both loved the game and was putting like some tender love and attention into this. They might have been like me and said, hey, they kind of make it seem like, look at that castle. Look at that castle. This is leagues above Pixel Remaster. Yeah, absolutely. But they might have been like me and said, oh, well, they kind of make a big deal that they got attacked in the air. Wouldn't it be cool if we showed that visually? And they did. That's incredible. And everything is smooth. Like, it is buttery smooth. The movement. If they had done this for every other game from Final Fantasies 1 through, let's call it 5, if they had made 5 look like this, would have been brilliant. I wouldn't have wanted it for 6. I love how they do that, like, that wacky spin before they turn to Cecil. And the music here isn't that bad. The reorchestrated version for Pixel is really the only thing it has going for it. But see, Carnelian Signet, it's not a bomb ring. It's not like, hey, go take this bomb to this village. And then they're like, oh my god, the bomb exploded. I don't know what the original Japanese said, so I can't say whether or not that was as subtle or not. Take the items, switch the wall. You know, they made a big deal out of the switches, and this goes for all the versions. You don't really use switches that often. You use them kind of in this original area, you use them in some of the other castles, and then you're kind of done about a fourth of the way through the game. So we're not going to really fuss too much like we usually do. Let's see, is there a run? Yeah, there's a run command. Because it's a quality of life improvement. Cecil, there's one of many Cecils. Thank goodness you're alright. Ba ba ba. But yeah, everything about this is just visually stunning. 6 is fine the way it is. Yeah, it needs no remaster or remake whatsoever, except maybe to correct the horrendous graphics from the mobile port. Yeah, that mobile port just needs to get buried. I never want to see it again. And I have coworkers that, old coworkers from the video game store that purported that it was a better version. This is the same guy who said that he was fine not owning games, and he didn't mind that like the Switch Nintendo Online lets you play like Breath of Fire, I think 1 and 2. And I'm like, we had that conversation. It was like, I don't want to play it if I don't want to play it if my save file might eventually get erased because I decide to pull the game. I don't want that. That's not cool. Like, I'll play a Super Mario World and you know, I can play that game up and down and not bat an eyelash at a lost save file, but Breath of Fire 1 and 2, no. I refuse to do that. But he's of a younger age where save files are not like treasured babies to hold on to for the rest of your life like it is for me, and I get it. It's a generational thing. But I weep for the new generation where like ownership of things is now going to be a transient transient? Yeah, transient property. It's ephemeral. Anyways. Pixel Remaster is like the Ichi Homo painting restoration. Oh my god, yes! That's the best way I have that. Yeah, yes. It's like it has elements of the original in it. Absolutely. It also looks like smeared crap. I'll have to double check, but my understanding is that this version also incorporates all of the benefits of the Wonder Swan going into the Game Boy Advance version, so you can add your Bard, the twins, Yang and Sid back into the party if you want. It's like, what did you do to what did you do to Jesus, lady? What drugs are you on? I could just imagine that lady. She was just like, oh my, what did I just do? No, I can fix this. Oh, I just made it worse. No, I'm sure I can still do this. Either that, or she just thought she was doing a good thing. Maybe she was so deluded she really thought she was like fixing it. But anyways, yeah. So I believe this is based on the Game Boy Advance version, from whence you can change your party, get them new and amazing items, and then also go through like an extra challenge dungeon and fight like Zeramis EX or whatever. But look at this. This is all brilliant and beautiful. And I contend that this would be the definitive version if you can like hack in the Pixel remaster music. I don't mind this music. It's not bad. It definitely sounds very digital in a sense. The battle music, especially as I'm listening to it now. But it's not bad. It's not grating. There's worse versions of the soundtrack. The DS version, for instance. This is essentially the GBA version with prettier sprites and fixed values for the post-game dungeon items, which were notoriously useless in the GBA part because all weapons got programmed into armor slots. Yeah, I remember that. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to play through this version, and just what I'll probably do is hey, I just realized what I'm probably gonna do is on New Year's, I'm not gonna replay this. I'll load up my save file, and I'll go through the Lunar Dungeon. Oh no, I already did that. Shit. No, I can't do that. I guess I'll just do the DS version. Option to play the DS version remastered music. The music wasn't that bad. It was the DS's hardware that really couldn't hack it. The speaker on that thing was just atrocious. Okay. Oh, I missed a treasure chest. Yeah, why not? See, what I might do is I might purchase the so-called DS version on Steam, and the music should be like loads better. And as I'm talking through all of this, I want to draw attention to the PlayStation version, which is good and is difficult in the way that it should be. Load times suck. If you can play it in a way that's not on the original PlayStation, maybe on the PS2 it's better, I don't know, I never did that. Maybe on a PS3 it's just better. Especially if you can buy it. In fact, maybe I would even do that, because I can technically still buy the PS1 version. Oh shit. Imagine having no qualms with not owning your games. It's like, so how's the boot taste, kid? Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, I'm having fits because I can't play Metroid Dread without an internet connection. Oh man. Does it do that to you? That's ridiculous. It shouldn't, because it's your... well, anyways. So we just have to wait. And a huge improvement, this has the active time battle bars that show not just that you selected an option, but how long it's going to take for that option, like with spellcasting. And we get here, yeah, it always does the check, and if I'm on airplane mode, it just won't boot. That sucks. I didn't realize that it would do that. I bet you if you had the cart, it wouldn't do that. Because it really shouldn't, like, it shouldn't be a jerk like that. In fact, I'm curious to try it now on mine. Ditto, Monhan, and Doom 64. Oh man, that's a bummer. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty destruction. And I mean, for what it's worth, you can tell that Rydia's sprite is like a child. It was a little harder to convey that originally. That was just limitations of the system, but look at that. I think somewhere in one of the versions, Kain is like, we have to kill the child. Which, like, man, that was so harsh. Nope. I also really like the way the summons look. Look at that. Titan did that. Alright. So, that was all just meant to illustrate. I guess we'll just start a save file on this. There's no data. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. That's one thing this version has against it, is that it gets all choppy and weird with the save files. Like, let's try and save again. And it's like, everything's empty. Oh wait, no it's not. I mean, if you want to hear the DS version of the music in this game, you can totally change the music in the menu, and it's pretty decent quality, actually. Doesn't sound like the DS speakers are strangling it. Oh, let's try it out. Ouch. Music. Oh my. Is this the DS version? Oh, in fact, it looks like we were already listening to the DS OST. Oh, nice. I like that they let you do the original. See, this has everything. This version lets you... It appeals to your nostalgia. It has pretty updated graphics. Very definitive looking sprites. I don't care for Cecil's helmet, but that's just a minor point. All the other sprites are just gorgeous. And it's like, if you're a new player, this looks like a modern game. If you're nostalgic for the old version, you know, it's not pixelated like the other one would be. Go play the PlayStation version. Go play the original as it's shown in one of its forms. Go play the WonderSwan or 3 GBA version, maybe. You know, there are a lot of different versions that will satisfy you. Like, if you can get your hands on, well, there was a time you could do the Virtual Console, but yeah, I would say that would be that would knock it out of the park. But here, this is something I'm going to contrast very heavily, and I want anyone who's watching to pay maximum attention to this. Curiously, I never dropped Gil in the Pixel remaster. I think they might have removed that as a feature. Look at the backgrounds! Look at these beautiful backgrounds! Like, look at them! I'm gonna pause super quick. Look at these backgrounds and just how beautiful, like, the grass looks like it's individually, like, drawn on there. There's this little, like, clod of dirt. You can see the water and the mountains and the clouds, and they don't look like they've been super hyper-excited. Okay. That's of that right now. Let's see. But now that I know I can do that, that's really cool. That's really awesome. I don't believe I need to do anything else at the moment with any of that. Okay. We played through the first... I appreciate Dark Knight Cecil sprite in this one because thanks to it I realized Cecil was wearing a helmet instead of having a giant pompadour. Yeah, absolutely. There were a lot of assumptions that I had made prior to that about what the sprites meant. But so here we are. We played through basically the first half hour, maybe, of, let's see, I guess, yeah, half hour of, whoops. Of Final Fantasy. Oh, come on. I'm terrible. I keep forgetting my passwords. Few updates. Okay. All right. So anyhow, sorry, there's just dark screen right now, but I am starting the Pixel remaster version. It's going to take a second for it to update. What we played through the original 30 minutes, or not original, through the first 30 minutes of Final Fantasy IV complete version on PSP. Now we are going to do likewise. Let's see if it's still set to capture. We will capture it for chaos. Now loading. Okay, so we're good. I'll show you this. First thing, beautiful music. Amazing, sharp. Everything is loads better in terms of just how like visually clean it is. And I get that. Alright, we're just going to start a new game for the purposes of basically showing you the same thing. Super pixelated, that's fine. Very much in tune with the original. But the water is different. And that's so distracting. Like, I thought I liked that at first, but I don't. Like, it's pixelated ground and airships with, like, the water, and it's like, okay, here we are. The ship has been rendered fairly well. Everyone's super pixelated. It's done in a way that makes sense for all this. Longer load times in PSP game. Lord Almighty, it sails from the word bow. I mean, yeah. Okay, and we're all talking about the same thing. And considering that this is a Steam game and meant to be shown like on a relatively large screen, it's almost too pixelated. It's like, I don't know that I like it. But I don't know. It's got similar particle effects and so on that I really like. That crystal is very similarly done. I don't know what those like weird eyebrow looking things on Cecil's armor are and why they're flesh colored. Music again is just still crazy good. Like if they use the sprites look great. The monster sprites, they look amazing. Very much again in tune with the original. The weird transition times are like a little jarring, or the transition effects. It's bugging me more now that the battle screen looks so weird because it kind of extends further than it needs to. Captain, we seem to have become significantly uglier. Some Mysidian treachery, no doubt. Yeah. But yeah, look at that water. That water's gross. Like, they shouldn't have done it. Not in such a huge contrast to this. And again, here's again a different kind of water, but it's the same idea. It looks really pretty on its own, but it kind of looks like it belongs in like a Banjo-Kazooie or a Mario 64. Not in this game. The castle looks great. It's basically the Super NES tile set. I mean, probably a little updated, but it's basically that. Okay. Okay, water crystal. Yep. You know, it bugs me. This is not anything to do with this version of the game, but like, Cognazzo gets the water crystal. Ruby Conte should have gotten the fire crystal, and so on, but that's not how that worked. That's just something I noticed now. Kind of silly. But they really did just skip over like how 5 of the crystals were acquired, basically. I guess 4 because, well, I don't know, 3. 3 of the crystals. Yeah, there it is. Bomb ring. Hey, take this bomb ring to this place. Also, why is Cain like baby blue? I didn't notice that the last time either. Alright, I get it. But look at him, he's baby blue. I need a re-release of FF4 with the Super Family Sprite set, but with GBA color filter so my eyes can melt to the chromatic overload. That's funny. And that, you know, the character sprites are great with a couple of weird exceptions, but like that's a really good sprite for Rosa. The fire is a little like over ambitious. Look at this fire. Like I like it, but again, it's weird. I don't know that it really fits. And they did a really good job of being like, oh, it's kind of early evening. Can you tell? Okay. Rest, yes. Cecil, I have become a messy pixel blob. You must end it. It hurts to live like this. Oh my god. Like, honestly, this version of this song is amazing. And also, why is there a torch burning, like, right there while he's trying to go to sleep? It's weird. All of this is weird. Does Cecil need a nightlight? I like how all those doors were made double wide just for this purpose. I will say this, I don't know which version of this like splash screen I like better. I think this one is a little bit more true to the original. The other one was really pretty though. Cecil, why are our fonts this crap? Are we in hell? What did we do to deserve this punishment? Oh, that font looks terrible though. Like, it's not unreadable or anything, but it just kind of takes you out of it. Like, the pixelization is there, but also, like, there's this very sharp font. Like, this very good looking, like, in terms of readable font. And it just looks like way out of place, just like the water. Like, what would it have cost you to pixelize the font? Like you did everything else. The lunar crystals could talk. Why can't the earth crystals do that? Does the moon crystal set have an earth crystal, or is it the moon crystal? Alright, well, here we go. Same thing. Tile set makes sense for a pixelated game. Look at the background. It's not super great. This is not like a terrible background as backgrounds go. They kind of put their best foot forward on the first set. But we're gonna look at oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Did you see what I just got? I just got the Cockatrice summon. Like nothing. What in the holy fuck? Well, anyway. Nope. Oh, it won't let me pause without covering the entire screen. This is kind of a mushier version of the background we were looking at before, and I don't like it. Like, I get it, it's fine. But let's check a fight here. Yeah, no worries. This is the worst thing for me. Like, I'm just gonna fight through this. But look at this. Look at this background. It's horrid. I don't care for it. And it's worse when you're playing through on a big screen. Like, I get it if you're on a phone, but if they weren't ready for prime time on this, they shouldn't have done this. The escape command seems to just shut up. The escape command seems to just work. That there doesn't seem to be any penalty for running, which yeah. You just run if you need to run. Leave it once, okay. Yeah. And everything up until this point seems to be nominal. Alright, I didn't screw up this time. Oh, shoot. Don't ask me why I did that. I couldn't answer you if I tried. What was I playing? Oh yeah, Final Fantasy V does not let you change rows for the whole party. So we're just waiting. It's weird how it makes the boss deaths just like that much more flashy when they never used to be. That's kind of like the death for Elemental Fiend or something on that par. Okay, so here we come. Similar situation. It's like, hey, this really pretty town. Oh boy. Oh no, the bomb ring. I mean, this is kind of neat too, I guess. Yeah, there it is. He's like, we should kill the kid. And then he says, I was just testing you. I do really like her battle sprite. The battle sprites in this are really good. That animation is pretty good. And here we go, going through the desert. And I don't know if I can really express just how like pixely all of this is, like in a bad way. Like this background just looks like a BMP. That's the quality of it. When the other backgrounds were just like really awesome, like someone turned this into a TIFF file at some point. Like this is, you know, some 386 bullshit, like a Packard Bell computer would do. Like this is old Sierra games, but like on purpose, not because of console limitations. It makes me angry. Everything seems to be fine. Oh, by the way, you can go diagonal in this game. I kind of like it. I wish that and the soundtrack are the things I might keep. Alright. But there you are. I'm just gonna... Yeah, we're gonna go through this whole business. But I'm just gonna kind of give my final thoughts here. This is bullshit. Like, I understand what they were going for. Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster is a version of the game. It's the nicest thing I can say for it. It gets wrong so many things about the game. Back now, sorry, little guy started heaving and had to take him to the yard breakneck speed. Poor guy. Did he throw up? Anyways, in an effort to make a mobile version of this game that didn't look like crap, because it looks disjointed, but it doesn't look terrible like the 5 and 6 versions that they put out. Like here, the background is okay. It's like they put some effort into it. And if you look at the tiling here, it's not great. It's not great. Yeah, run away. Say something good about Pixel Remaster. Well, it eventually ends. Yes. But ultimately, the problem I have with it is not that it looks horrid like the 5 and 6 remakes we got a few years ago. It's that it looks too, like, everything about it is this I think I've said this before, it's a monument to compromise. It's not nostalgic enough for the people who used to play it, because what the fuck is up with this water? I'm serious. Look at this it's like baby oil, this water, and it doesn't make sense when, like, this tree is as pixelated as it is, or these people are pixelated. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Look at this kid and look at this water. It's dumb. They could go for these water effects, but they couldn't do good backgrounds. What the fuck? Oh, he tossed his cookies. Oh, gross. But it was mostly grass. I kept telling him not to do that, but he never listens. Poor Lomito. But I mean, just look at this. This is the worst. This lady's gonna, like, swim in baby oil. And, like, the splashes are pixelated, but the water isn't? I don't get it. I really don't. Like, come on, Square. Why? Why do you do this? And so I think that's the best illustration I have of why this game was not better, is that it was this scheme of contrasts where so many things were improved and so many things weren't. So many changes were made and so many things were made worse. Backgrounds are terrible. Music is awesome. The game is made to be too easy, and I think I've figured out that it's not that the monsters aren't different. They didn't make the monsters weaker, they made you stronger. You gain more experience. I think the way that elemental weaknesses are applied is, like, more. I think you get better stat ups on levels and so on. See, the water does look like baby oil or Karo honey. I don't know what Karo honey is, but I imagine it's just like that. They did make this as an experience to be played on mobile, which is fine. That's great. You play it for a 15-minute break. You play it a little bit before bed. You play it in this, crazy, wacky workaday world that we live in. I get that. In that sense, they knocked it out of the park, because it's a game you can play whenever you want. Pick it up, make a little progress. There's literally no point in this game at which you have to grind. If you fight only the bosses and run from everything else, I think you might be able to beat this game still. Why then did you not put in options for no encounters? Why then did you not put in debug menus like you did with games like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 when you remade those? Why are we just pretending that this is a game and not a trip down memory lane? That would have made more sense. But I fixed the Jesus painting. Look, the water is shiny now. Yeah, exactly. It didn't want to be a modern version of this game. It wanted to be the old game that you could play in chunks, and with the kind of quality of life improvements that you see in a lot of remakes, where the experience flows more freely, where the bosses are marginally easier, where the grinding isn't a thing. Done better in other games like Phantasy Star 1, which by the way is for the Switch. You can get that and you can quadruple the experience and so on. Miel Caro on Twitter later. Yeah. Dragon Quest 4, they just, doubled in half the things that they needed to double in half on a numbers game and just adjusted a few of the things. This was too much of a radical change. Like, they wanted to make a mobile game. They made a Kemco RPG, for God's sake, is what they did. They made something that was wholly meant to be played on mobile. And they didn't change it for the Steam version, which really fucking upsets me. And that's a bummer. So, I just don't understand what the point of that is. I think they might have just been going for like this youth market that all has cell phones, which I get, or whatever. I don't think they're gonna like this. I don't think this is for new people like they thought it might have been. And as some of my coworkers like to say, the old heads who played this back in the day, like myself, aren't gonna like this. Sure, bits of it look like it, but enough of it has changed that it's not satisfying. Instead of playing it in chunks, I just blew chunks instead. Well, yes, that's a great way to put it. Oh, but yeah, I have a lot of terrible things to say about this. What do we got? Yeah, look at that. Wow. Blizzard, Cure, Sight, Thunder, all in one go. But yeah, I don't recommend this version of the game if you can help it. That being said, it is the most available version of this game. And I think that's an important point to make, and I'm going to leave this kind of relatively loud area. This is the most available version of this game right now. If you want to track down the Game Boy Advance version, great. It goes for a little pricier than I would want. If you own a Vita, you can buy the PSP version through their shop for a little while. I don't know how long that's going to last. Same thing goes for the PlayStation 1 version of this game that you can also buy, which I might, actually. Because I kind of want to revisit it, especially to see how it runs on a Vita. And that would be on the Final Fantasy Chronicles collection, which is like this in Chrono Trigger, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look, we'll just make this old thing worse than it originally was, and they'll bring new audiences somehow. Yeah, that was kind of the approach they took. But all of those things are both either expensive or hard to get. You have to have a Vita to play this. You have to have a PS3 to play this. You have to have a Game Boy Advance or something that will play those games. That's not easy. Virtually everyone has a computer. Even more people have a mobile phone, and so automatically this is the easiest way to acquire this game that almost anyone can play. If that's what you've got, play this game. It'll give you the story. It'll give you the experience of it. But know that this is not the definitive version. Know that the experience of playing this game has a lot more pathos to it, and the pacing is different, and it just feels different. Don't take this at face value, and don't think that this is the way that this game is meant to be experienced. Because there's a lot to be said for the nostalgia factor of playing it the way it was meant to be played, playing the original Super NES part, which is like $200 now, and that's a sad thing. Emulate the original. If you can. That's also an option that you have. If you can figure out a way to emulate the original, whether you get the Japanese version with like a fan translation or you play the original American version. Even the original American version is better than this version, and that hurts me to say. Like, I would never have said to anyone before the release of the Pixel Remaster that this is the way to play this game. Or, I'm sorry, that the original US version was better than any other version. Original US, I would have said, no, don't play that. You know, play it if you played it back in the day. Play it if it was the version you grew up with and you want to re-experience that. But I would have told you that there are better ways to experience this game. But it is now no longer rock bottom. It's not the worst way to play this game anymore, and that really sucks. But yeah, emulate that version, emulate some other version, emulate the Game Boy Advance. You can play the DS version, although that one I would say is not necessarily for beginners. That's more like your JRPG All-Star, you're looking for a challenge. It probably is the hardest version of this game. But it's rewarding in its own way. I'll probably play it again soon. Jesus God. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Want to become famous by follow? Oh. Be gone, bot. Let's see. How will ruining a game bring new audiences to it? I ain't explaining shit. The Squeenix works in mysterious ways. Marv sent to Alex Jones. Get the DS version, you cowards. Cowards, get back here. Don't run away. It's the version the globalists don't want you to play. Thank you, Looney, for being an amazing mod as always. I may have to get a little bit more footage so that I can chop this together for a proper review on YouTube. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this game. Get it if it's the only way you can, but there are better versions of this game, and I think you can get them on PC. You can get them on your phone, both legally and not. So I don't necessarily enjoy telling people to get the illegal version of the game, but I think it's the responsible thing to do, and I mean that. Play the DS version if you're ready for a challenge. Get an emulator and play one of the original Super Famicom or NES versions of it. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen an NES version of it come out of China like how they did with Final Fantasy VII, but you know, give it time. I'm sure someone will make a NES or even Master System version of this game, and then maybe you can enjoy that version. But until then, I think that's all I wanted to say regarding all of that. We're at an hour. Like I said, I'm gonna chop this all up. Final thoughts about this game. Go out of your way. Play a version of this game that goes to, that is different. Game Boy Advance, DS, WonderSwan, PlayStation 1, Super NES for the original American version. Try not to play this game, but hunting horn. You try not to play this game if you can, but if this is the only way you can, do it. That's all I can say. And then otherwise, just enjoy yourselves. Play the games you want to play. Life's too short for bad games. And know that this is an indelible classic that needs to be given its due. And who knows, within 3 years, we may even see yet another version of this game. Maybe we'll have Final Fantasy IV for the Oculus Rift 3 for all we know. But anyways, that's my piece. As I mentioned, I'm going to try and edit this into a working review, hopefully, and post it up on YouTube. But if anybody has any ideas about my review, my thoughts, you want to share your thoughts about Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster, please do. is technically a Master System version. Oh man, I'd give anything to play Final Fantasy IV on the Master System. That just sounds like a hoot. Or the Game Gear. I'd settle for that too. But anyways, I do go on. Yes, there you go. Share your ideas with me. We're going to edit this into a YouTube video at some point. We're going to pretty this up so that people just don't have to listen to me ranting and raving about any which thing. And I will tell you a more concise version of my thoughts on... Wait a second. I just noticed something. Sorry, I was about to sign off. And then, like, this water's fine. I don't have an issue with this water. But then when you fly over it, it looks all goofy. But then, look at this water here in the lake, or the oasis. Huh. I didn't know that could miss. Oh god. Insectus. But look at this water. Sorry, that took me a little longer to kind of explain because I had to go back and forth. Look at this water. This water is perfectly fine. Oh, and now it just gets a little gradient to it. Weird. Never mind, I take back what I said. Ugh. Well, point made. Anyways, share your thoughts with me. I'd love to hear what other people have to say about this. Thank you for indulging me in this wacky weirdness about a game that I've been playing for the better part of 30 years. But okay. We're going to end it there. We're going to edit this into something somehow. And we're going to share our opinions about the Pixel Remaster on YouTube. But until then, remember, I play games for you.